Okay, hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just gonna try and get both cameras going. We are live on Instagram, we are live on the Facebook, and I think we are all good to go. So sorry because I may be looking two different ways here. The whole dual streaming thing with a laptop and then with a computer. And my computer has the weirdest location for the camera. So I'm very sorry if I'm not looking at you, but I'm here, I'm present, and I wanted to catch up with you because it is the weekend, it is Sunday. We're in crazy times right now, as I know all of you know already. Wow, what a crazy few weeks it has been. Hi Brenda, I see Sarah is here. Happy cloudy Sunday. I know I had to bring out, I have an extra light because it looks like a rainstorm is coming here in Toronto. I was already out in one early this morning while I was walking the dog, but we might be getting another here, so that is okay. So I'm here today on this cloudy, lovely Sunday afternoon to talk about revision. Vision. Sarah says it's been raining and you're in Atlanta. Well, somewhere near Atlanta. Okay, so it's just a gloomy day for everybody. So I'm hoping that my red shirt will cheer you up. Here, let me just adjust this just a tad. So the topic of today's episode of The Visionary Way, I've been doing these most weekdays at 11 a.m., but today is a special bonus episode. And we're talking about the word revision. And why is this so applicable right now? Why should we revise the way we are living, the way we are working? Well, because we're being forced to. As you all know, my whole brand is built around a visionary life. And that means having a vision for where you are going in the future, where you are headed, what you want out of this lifetime. But so often when I start working with clients or when I meet people or when I talk to my family or friends, they've actually never taken the time to consider what their vision is for their life, for their family, for where they live, for so many aspects that are within their control. They've never thought about the vision of where they would like to be in 6 months, 2 years, 6 years. And without a vision, we don't know where to go. And without a vision, we end up staying quite stagnant. And so no matter who a person is, when they start working with me or they come to me and they say, Kels, I need help with something. Either, I'm trying to start a business or I have a business and it's not working. I'm always going to bring them back to what is your vision? Because if you don't have that North Star guiding you in many aspects of your life, then complacency is what you are going to get, right? And I know that so many of you in this visionary community have a growth mindset. You have big plans for your life. You aspire to create something, to build something, to make an impact on people. You aspire for so much out of this very short life that we have. But you've never actually written what that vision is. You've never extracted it from your head and gotten it onto paper. And that's a problem. Hi, Jen. Hi, Karen. So I want to, before I give you some of my best tips on revising and redoing your vision, I want to first read you the Visionary Life Manifesto. And I wrote this as a vision statement for my life. And it has actually turned into the vision for what my brand is today. And I know that many of you who are watching this, whether live or replay, you are visionary clients of mine. So maybe a piece of this resonated with you, or there's something within it that you also see within yourself. So I'm going to read the Visionary Manifesto to you just to set the stage for what I'm talking about today. Here we go. Living your life according to meaningless expectations, archaic milestones, and to please other people is no longer necessary. It's time to break free. This community is for those of you who are ready and excited to live life on your own terms, because life is what happens when you're not on autopilot. Anything is possible when you see the world through visionary eyes. You are here to create and share your gifts with the world. So what are you waiting for? A visionary imagines and plans for their future with limitless potential. They show to others what is possible in this lifetime and inspire people to reach for their full potential by reaching for their own and modeling the lifestyle. Visionaries are smart, creative, driven, and can figure out a solution to any challenge that comes their way. They are resourceful. They practice consistency in their health and their lifestyle habits, knowing that when they show up best for their business is when they have taken care of themselves first. After all, our bodies are our primary vessel that support having a thriving business. Visionaries take small steps every single day to impact the world with their gift, which eventually leads to massive leaps forward. The ripple effect is real. Visionaries are constantly looking for ways to stay inspired, to deepen their connection to communities, and to show up in a bigger and brighter way. Visionaries envision what they want, and then they find a way to get it. So I wrote that for myself as a guiding philosophy, a guiding statement. It's my manifesto. It's also the manifesto of the brand that I've built over the last 4 or 5 years. And oftentimes people come to the Visionary Life brand because they align with this statement. So notice how the last line of it was, visionaries envision what they want, and then they find a way to get it. So here's the thing, if you never take time to envision or to write down what you want, how are you going to get what you want, okay? Maybe you've always had dreams of starting a business or in creating meal plans for families, but you've never written these things down before. How do you expect that it's ever going to become your reality? You're probably too busy seeing everybody else chase their dreams while you're feeling paralyzed, right? So taking the time to do a revision or a total from scratch vision is not just for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. You know how everyone gets excited, oh, I'm gonna do a vision board, I'm gonna do goal setting. That happens once a year in most people's lives. But here's the thing, you should be doing it on a monthly, if not quarterly, maybe basis, because you are changing. You are a human being who is growing, evolving, changing. You are not the same person you were 4 months ago. That means that your vision is going to evolve as well. And I think so many people are scared to put their vision down on paper because they don't know whether it will ever come true or if they have the capabilities or the resources to achieve that vision. But that's okay, because your vision is going to evolve. You're going to hit roadblocks and you're going to experience failure, and then you'll revision, okay? So that's the topic of our chat today, is the revision session that I absolutely love doing with all my clients. It is the first step in any coaching program in some shape or form, but with me, I love the word revision because with Visionary Life, obviously, visionary is my favorite word. So that's where we begin. Why I created this process specifically, so this is just one process in the Visionary Method framework. Why I created this revision session is because about 5 years ago, I realized that so many of my peers and even a little bit myself were using words like, oh, I should stay at this job for 2 years, or I'll never be an entrepreneur, or this is my path, or my parents always wanted me to be a lawyer. And there was a lot of shoulds and not a lot of I want tos. And I just thought, well, have you ever sat down, tuned out the noise of the world, and actually thought about what you want in this lifetime? Have you ever thought that maybe living with a bit more intentionality will guide you towards living a version of your most visionary life that you've never even thought of? And I know for me, I want to live a life that when I look back on it in 20 years, that I'm proud of, that I see that I was able to chase my dreams because I knew what they were, that I was able to grow and to pivot and to evolve and learn every single day because I had a vision of where I was going, okay? So that's where the revision process really comes in. And obviously it's a big process, which I'm going to share with you. But this is something that even if you only do 30-50% of it, you're going to find so much clarity in what you need to do moving forward to live your own most visionary life, okay? So if you have a pen and paper, grab them. I'd love to walk you through this exercise. And we're going to break it into buckets here because my goal is to help you revise what's currently going on in your life, okay? So the first thing I want you to think about or write down, what would living a full life mean to you? What would living a full life include in your eyes, okay? What does that term stir up in your mind? A full life. The next question is, if you are the average of the 5 people you hang around the most, who do you need to start hanging around with more to up-level your own greatness? Because I know a lot of you have heard that who you surround yourself with often has a huge impact on who you are. So if you are the average of the 5 people you hang around the most, who do you need to start hanging around more? This is a revision of your relationships and of your friend circle. Journal on some of the following prompts. What are some things that you do every single day that you dislike? What are some things you do every single day that are manageable, but in a perfect world, you might stop doing them? And what are some things you do every single day that give you energy and uplift you? So I'm going to keep walking through some questions. Again, the intention here is to get you to revision your life. These are questions that I ask myself daily, maybe weekly. I try not to let this go more than a few weeks without thinking of these things. If there is something in my life that I dislike, I am actively pursuing a way to get it out of my life, okay? If you're unhappy with something, know that you do have the capability to change it, but the first step is just bucketing out things you dislike, things that give you energy and uplift you, and things that are manageable, but in a perfect world, you wouldn't be doing them, okay? This can be related to your work, to your lifestyle, to your relationship. I hope you're all with me still. I'm just gonna check out over on Facebook. Okay. I want you to think about some of these questions. What would fill your days in your most fun and adventurous life? What would fill your days in your most fun and adventurous life? And when you write a list of things, ask yourself, why am I not living that way now? Isn't life supposed to be fun? Isn't life one big adventure? Why do we see adventure as something that can only come once a year, right? If travel is part of what you deem to be your most fun and adventurous life, well, maybe it's not possible right now. I mean, I'm recording this at the time of COVID, but it can absolutely be fulfilled. That desire to be new places or to connect with new people, we can fulfill that in so many different ways, right? I want you to ask yourself, do you feel like you have crafted a life you really love? This question is going to scare you. Do you feel like you've crafted a life that you really love? Why or why not? And just know that most people's answer is not an immediately like, yes, I've crafted the perfect life. I'm living it. There's always work to be done, but I want you to sit with that answer. If you say, no, I haven't really crafted a life that I really love, we need to get to the root of what we can change today to make you answer yes down the line, right? I want you to be better tomorrow and better the next day and to find that happiness and to find that love for your life. But the first step is recognizing, do you have that life now? Or is there something that maybe will help you get towards it, right? Okay, we're going to continue on with the revision session here. Now, I want you to write down the words sleep, supplements, nutrition, movement, hydration, self-care, emotional health, stress management, immune health, happy home, okay? You're going to have to rewatch this if you didn't catch all those. Beside each one, I want you to rank how you're doing in each category on a scale of 1 to 10, but you're not allowed to use the number 7, okay? So besides sleep, maybe you've been sleeping not so well lately. You can't rank it at a 7, and the reason is when you use a 7, that's usually a default, so it's gonna force you to either choose the 6 or the 8. So maybe you rank sleep at a 6 or 5. Nutrition, maybe you rank that as a 10, you're doing really well. Immune health, maybe you rank that as low because you've been sick lately. And then I want you to look at which of those categories did you rank the lowest and which one needs some attention right now. Because these are all guiding you towards where in your health you may need to pay a little bit more attention. Because you cannot find clarity in a vision for your life if you're not taking care of yourself. Like I read in the Visionary Manifesto, that your health is important because your body is a vessel, right? Your body is a vessel for carrying out your vision. And so that's why I want you to go through that exercise there, is ranking those pillars. So again, sleep, nutrition, movement, hydration, self-care, emotional and mental health, stress, immunity, happy home, and you can add any other buckets onto there. These types of things, they do require revision because you might have slept well a year ago, but now you're not sleeping at all. So we need to look at what can we change to get you into better sleep, for example. When you think about your career or your work, what is your current situation? Are you working a job that you love? Are you in a transition period? Do you work a job and have side hustles? Do you work a job and want a side hustle? Are you starting a business? Do you already have a thriving business or something else, okay? And have you thought about what your goals are related to your current career situation? So if you're working full-time right now, but you really want to start a business, have you written that out as a goal? Are you looking at it daily? Is it part of your bigger vision? And then I want you to break that down, and if it was easy to achieve that goal. So if you say, okay, well, I'm working full-time, I want to start a business, what would the steps look like if it were easy to get your business started? Maybe it's as simple as investing in a coach, showing up to the program and completing it on time, and then setting a launch date for the first time you're going to deliver your workshop or launch your online course to the world. Like, you know, maybe let's take the complexity away from it. If you had nothing but free time, what would you do today and tomorrow to start reaching your career goals? Okay? Sometimes people have these invisible blocks, like, well, I'll never be a successful podcast host, or I could never run a group coaching program, for example. But if you had nothing but free time to better yourself, to become the best version of a business owner or of an employee that you could be, what would you do to start advancing yourself along that path? Like, if one of your goals is to start that podcast, right? And maybe make income off of the podcast, what do you need to start doing? Maybe you need to start listening to more podcasts. You need to start making notes on what's in a usual intro. You need to make a list of guests, find theme music, okay? Write it down. It's probably not so complex after all, but your vision needs to come out of your head. If you're still in the early phases of starting a business and part of your revision right now, especially because maybe you're at home and things with your work are changing, things in life are generally changing right now. So if you have the chance now to finally think about the business that you've always wanted to launch, here are some questions that you could ask yourself. And this is if you're still a bit unclear on what that business idea is. So what are you uniquely good at? What do people really need in the world right now that you can offer? What are people willing to pay for? What is a problem you have solved for yourself that you could probably help solve for others? If you were to write a step-by-step process for achieving any result that you've gotten in your life, what would that be? These can all give you clues as to how you can revision your career or your entrepreneurial dreams into the future that you really want, right? I always say that questions are the answer to a revision, right? A revision is looking at the state of your life right now, asking questions about what's working, what's not, who am I at my core, and then making the necessary shifts. I have not always been this way. I've not always been comfortable getting on Instagram, getting on Facebook, talking to you guys, but I knew 5 years ago that there was something inside of me that really wanted to share this concept of visionary living and tuning out the noise of the world and listening to your inner voice. And that's why I'm here today, because I showed up day after day for that vision. I rewrote the vision, and now it's turned into a business and a brand, but I didn't know that, but I had to start somewhere. I had to start by, at first teaching a workshop to 0 people on what visionary life was. And let me tell you, it was a mess. So these are all things that you can think about in terms of a revision on your life. Hello. And it's truly incredible what just a little bit of time and attention and care to what you truly want out of this lifetime can bring you, okay? So I will be back tomorrow with the next phase of the visionary method. So maybe you've got the wheels turning now, you've been thinking, maybe something does need to change. And so if you want to join me, I will be live again on Instagram, on Facebook, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And also, if you are interested in joining our next round of the visionary method, just send me a message. I've got some pretty special offers for people who do want to get started, making it completely risk-free, no money down, and if you're unhappy in your first 60 days, I'll give you all the money back, okay? So if this is of interest to you and you want to start your online business, you're feeling inspired, just send me a note. You know where to find me because you're watching these platforms. So that's it for today. I hope to see you back here tomorrow, and I hope this helped a few of you.